Hello, I'm Greg Redke of Redke Mods, and welcome to episode 5 of season 3 of my Mac Pro series. This is the first part of 3 parts of the series where I will be showing you how to install Mojave on your Mac Pro. Now, I'm going to be showing you 3 different methods for 3 different setups, basically. And basically, the first setup we're going to be showing you today is how to set up your system if you're 100% supported 5.1 Pro or 4.1 Flash to a 5.1 with metal GPU. That's going to be episode 1 for today. Episode 2 will be on setting it up on an unsupported Mac Pro like a 3.1 or unflashed 4.1 with or without metal supported GPU. And the last one is going to be how to install Mojave on a 5.1 that doesn't have a metal supported GPU. And the reason why I'm doing that one last is because it will be based on basically episode 6. So episode 7 is going to be pretty short, but I'm going to be explaining to you how that will work out in that episode. But anyway, before we get on with setting up our 5.1 with the metal supported GPU today, today's season would not be possible if it hadn't been for the great people at sellyourmac.com. Say you want to save some money up to buy a Mac Pro, and you need a way to do that, and you don't want to mess with eBay and stuff, whatnot. Just watch this ad right here for sellyourmac.com, and I'll explain to you in that ad how you can make some money on that. So let's go. Hi, are you looking to sell an Intel Mac like one of these? Maybe you're looking to sell your old iPhone like one of these. If you go to sellyourmac.com/RutKMods, link in the description, and sell your device, they'll even send you a free shipping label if you live in the United States of America. And they'll take devices from anywhere in the world. So just head to sellyourmac.com/RutKMods and sell your device. I'll appreciate it, and they will too. And hey, you'll be making some money, and they do it at top dollar. So go there and check them out. And welcome back. So yeah, in today's episode, we'll be setting up our 5.1 with metal supported GPU for Mojave. So let's get going. Okay, so before we begin, the official release is not out yet of Mojave, but the GM is. And currently it is September 21st, and the official release will be coming out on the 24th. And this is technically the official release, even though it still says beta on here. To get the copy of Mojave on your 5.1, you will need to download it from the App Store. So, of course, you just click download. On the 24th and later, of course, you'll be able to just access it from the App Store, and it will download. And it will download and do the things it needs to do. Now, before we continue with everything else while this is downloading, when you click download on Mojave on a 5.1 or your flashed 4.1, it will want to do a firmware update. And if you've watched episode 4 of the Mac Pro series of this season, the link's going to be right over here. I figured out that it's probably not reversible. And because of that, if you do not want to flash the latest update, you can bypass it by following episode 6, which I will be linking multiple times in this video. Episode 6 is actually going up the same time 5 does. So I'll link that later. Actually, I'll put the link right here right now. But basically, episode 6, I show you how to install it on an unofficial system, and that will bypass the flashing requirements. But it's not going to hurt you now because the official flash should be fine. And it's going to improve the performance of your 5.1 or flashed 4.1. And it's going to allow full PCIe speeds on PC video cards, which is also a very good thing. So you don't have to skip it if you don't want to, and I'd recommend not skipping it, but if you want to, follow episode 6. It will bypass the flashing, but I can't guarantee that future updates of Mojave won't flash your system. So you also got to think about that. Anyway, getting back to the point. Now, to install Mojave, you will need a system that is, of course, metal supported. I currently do not have a metal supported card in here, but the system thinks it is metal supported, so we're going to pretend that I have a supported metal card and install it the way that anyone else with a metal supported card would. Now, I do have metal supported cards that would work, but currently there's no NVIDIA drivers out for them until probably Tuesday, which would be September 25th. So we're going to stick with this card, and I'll just show you how it installs. Now, also, before this finishes installing, I would also recommend, if you are running a flashed 4.1 that's been flashed to a 5.1, and you have the original Wi-Fi drivers, card, the Wi-Fi card, the airport card that came in the system when it was new, that card, if it worked in Sierra and High Sierra, it won't work in Mojave, but it will work in Mojave, but you'll have to watch episode 6 also, because that is it needs a legacy flashed, a legacy driver, which is only available in the installer patcher, and I'll show you in episode 6 how to patch that. And other than that, right now we are installing this on a flashed 4.1. So when everything is said and done, I will not have the Wi-Fi working. But before the end of the video, I will have Wi-Fi working. So I'll show you that it does indeed work. And I'll briefly go over how to do it in the patcher, but episode 6 will tell you more detail about how to get it in the patcher. Anyway, the system is downloading currently, and once everything is done, I'll come back. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, once you have the installer downloaded, aka once the system has been flashed, once everything is downloaded, you might get an error like, for instance, you have a non-metal supported card in the system. Now, this happens, of course, if you have a non-metal supported card in the system. Even if your main GPU is metal supported, it will not install if you have a non-supported card in the system. So like in episode 5 of last season, where I explained, link right there by the way, where I explained how PC cards can save you money if you incorporate them with another system card, like the original EFI flashed cards, single slots for instance. This system would have come with like a GT120 that would be perfect for this setup. The thing is, you can't install Mojave with it installed. So what you'll have to do is, if you have a non-metal supported EFI card in your system, you will have to remove it before you can install Mojave, and it should work after that, as long as you have a metal supported card in the system. And once this is all done, said and done, and everything's installed, you can put your old card back in with your metal supported card for boot screen support and stuff, and it will work, but you won't have any acceleration. And even with the Mojave patcher, you can't get acceleration if you want to use metal. So that really will make that card literally just for boot screen support and small little things. You could still web browse on that said card, but metal supported stuff in the operating system will not work. There will be no acceleration on that card any longer. But anyway, getting on with the point. Once your installer is downloaded, you can literally just click continue. hit agree, agree. Of course, we never read this stuff. Then you want to use your drive you want to install it on, and you hit install. Then you just type in the password, and it will start installing. Okay, while this is still installing, I would like to mention that metal supported cards that I would recommend you getting would probably be, even though I'm an NVIDIA fanboy, would be an AMD card from the HD 7000 series all the way to the RX 580s, the RX 500 series, or the Radeon Pro. And that's just because it will have 100% support in Mojave right out the box with no drivers or anything like that. Now, if you have, for instance, a Kepler NVIDIA card, like, for instance, the official EFI flashed GTX 680, that will also work in Mojave with no web drivers. Also, any other Kepler card, including all the 600 series except for a handful that were Fermi, and all the 700 series except for the 750s, which were actually Maxwell's. Oh, by the way, the system is now restarting. We'll move that along. But anyway, let me get back to where we were. Kepler supported cards, we will need, any of those cards, the 600 series, 700 series, will work without drivers. But I would recommend installing NVIDIA web drivers afterwards, because that will enhance the performance of the cards and also allow you to install the CUDA drivers. But you can install Mojave and not have to worry about having a black screen when it boots up. And that's currently the reason why I don't have a metal supported card, because my cards are Maxwell cards. And Maxwell, Pascal, and the new architecture, I can't remember right offhand. All those need the web drivers to work. Otherwise, you'll get a black screen like this right here. Now, my system is restarting. I'm not really sure if it's going to show an install screen while it's installing. We shall see in a second. But anyway, if you're installing with a Maxwell or newer card, NVIDIA-wise, you will need to have your backup card, like, for instance, your EFI cards, to make it, work. You'll need that to install the NVIDIA web driver, and then you can go back to your metal card. But you will need an EFI card to install the NVIDIA web drivers, where, of course, with the Kepler cards, you don't have to worry about that. But that's why I'd recommend getting an AMD card. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'll probably be going with an RX 580 or a Radeon Pro. So, anyway, we'll continue letting this install. I have this feeling it's not going to show me the installer screen. So you'll have the system basically blacked out for a while. Oh, here we go. It is showing up. Yeah, there we go. So it will install here. We'll let it install, and then we'll be all set. Okay, so the system is restarting. Let's see what it is doing now. Okay, and here it comes. Let's see what it's doing. Skip through these menus really quick. Here you can choose your light or dark mode look. It's not going to really matter right now for me, but when you guys have metal supported cards in here, it will look really good. I think I'll stick with light. And here we go. Now, like I said, I do not have a metal supported card in here, but it does work. And it says cannot connect to the App Store, and I'll show you why. If we look up here, my Wi-Fi is gone, as we can see here. So I will fix that, and then we'll come back. But before we do that, I will show you really quick that it is running Mojave and everything installed quite easily. Here we go. We are running Mojave. And it still says beta here, but this is actually the GM. This should update once it connects to the internet. So I'll shut this down, and I'll start filming episode 6, and then come back to finish this. Okay, so this step is only needed for people who have 4,1s that have been flashed to 5,1 and have the original Wi-Fi module. If you have a 5,1 that's original 5,1, everything should work right out of the box. But of course the Wi-Fi module will not work in a 4,1 in Mojave without a little patch. Now this is going to be from DOS-Dude1's Mojave patcher, which I cover in episode 6 right here. At least I'll be covering in episode 6. And basically, you need to watch that episode to show you how to set up the installer, just so you can run this patch. We'll go down to macOS post-install here. And then what we need to do is we need to choose SIP disabler patch, because SIP will prevent you from installing this patch otherwise, and we need to choose legacy Wi-Fi patch. Once we have those two chose, we need to select the drive we have it installed on, and we need to hit patch. Once that's done, you can hit reboot, but I'd recommend running force cache rebuild just for the heck of it. And once it's finished rebuilding the cache, it will boot up and you should have Wi-Fi. So I'll show you right after this finishes booting up. Okay guys, so I had to restart the system multiple times to get the Wi-Fi to work after doing that patch. And I'm very lost, and so is Colin. I had just gotten off the phone with him, and I filmed the ending of this video once already, but I'm refilming it now because the Wi-Fi is working. And we're still a little confused because this apparently, from what we can tell, isn't the original card that was in the system. But yes, we are running a 4,1. This is the, I guess, original Wi-Fi. We're not sure, but it is working. The patch worked. And that's proof that the patch worked. And everything works. If we go over to System Report and go over to Wi-Fi, it should show the card. There we go. It's working fine. For some reason, it required me to reboot it multiple times. I even booted this system into High Sierra at one point, and then when I booted back in, it worked. So if you're having problems with it not working and the first time you patch it, reboot it a few times, see what happens. You may have to repatch it a few times also. But yes, the Wi-Fi works, the patch was successful, and that's the end of today's video. Congratulations guys for installing your Mojave install onto your 5,1 Pro or flashed 4,1 Pro. Straight through the App Store. Everything is all set up, and you know, that's basically the end of today's video. Don't forget guys, I do have a Patreon now. If you guys would like to support me, I'd greatly appreciate it, but you don't have to. This is all meant to be free, but I would appreciate it if you would help me out. I'll have links at the end of the video and also in the description. Also, if you're looking to sell an Apple device, go check out sellyourmac.com/RutKMods, and that's the end of today's video. So thank you guys for watching. This has been a RutKMods video.